Hello there, this is Cookies. I have turn 31 of Naggarond from Sombre's Warhammer mod. This turn we should be sending out the nap ending message to Nehekhara. And we found a couple of magic sites: Enchanted Tomb, Invisible Tower. Invisible Tower is 1 glamour, 1 earth. Pretty cool. Enchanted Tomb is 1 death. We lose some population, get some plague. Lose a couple of Corsair coves. Lose Dominion. We're going to get attacked by barbarians. And we lose a bunch of population. So, mostly bad news. We're still site searching. I mean, the good news was finding some gems. We're building up some commander chaff. So these imps can scout, but they can also provide commander chaff for the Dominion Immortal guy from Nehekhara to fight. Pophis. Yeah, this guy. So he's Dominion Immortal 3 with built-in fear, has Reform 20, a blink, death curse, scale walls, all the things. Unsurroundable and an okay amount of defense and protection. So we're going to need some commander chaff for that guy. So getting some shadow imps. Let's see. Doing some rituals of returning. And twice spawning on different sorceresses. Ritual of returning just because I don't want to bodyguard them right now. And I don't have the death gems to twice spawn them yet. You can see we're moving out towards Old Giant Woods. We should finish this fort next month and this fort in 2 months. So our infrastructure will be done just in time for war. We're getting a Death Hag, some more Witch Elves, a General, Executioners, and a Corsair Captain, and a Beastmaster. Saving no gold. We've now spent all of our gold. But we don't make much to begin with. In terms of what the nation has, we have a very sad mage core, not very much. I think it's 10 mages, 11. We have 16 death hags. I find it hard to consider them mages. I consider them, they're good at blood hunting, good at blood sacrificing, and in combat they can't cast blood spells though. It's part of their description and mechanics, so they can only banish. So for the purposes of combat, I consider them holy two priests. We have a fair number of Ichthyids, some chaff, 82 witch elves, 42 executioners, about 120 sacreds, 43 blackguard, which are on the higher end of quality for my troops in respect to the Nehekhara matchup, and some chaff. So yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And the reason why is they have a length 3 spear, so they won't get repelled as much by the Nehekharan sacreds. These guys, because they also are length 3, and it's bad enough having to try and punch through Sana. So, all right. So I think that's a lot of it for the moment. Getting another Beastmaster over here. Yeah. So not a lot going on this turn, more setup really. The Ichthyids are almost in place to attack chambers underneath. And yeah, we've got the nap ending message out to Nehekhara, and we're selling or trading more gems to Bretonnia. So let's go ahead and check out turn 32 and see how that goes. All right, so I've got turn 32. Oh, we got our first Demonette troop, so we'll take a look at them. Found a Shrine of the Outcast. It's a little interesting. It's pretty bad as a site, but you get some foul spawn, so it'd be a source of some free chaff. So our Death Hag's gonna look at this for a little bit. Now, 68 gold per year. I think works out to 5.6 gold per turn, or 5.7. All right. So, paying a few gold to get a couple of foul spawn could be okay. So we'll get a little bit of that. Trying to wrap up site searching or major provinces. I'm still wondering if this is a death site. So I've been avoiding it for now until we get Twiceborn on the searcher for it. Getting some more shadow imps. Doing a little bit of blood hunting to beef up those numbers. We wrap up our fortress. We're now getting another Demonette troop. We did see this throne when we moved through, so we know it's the Throne of Knowledge. Getting one Corsair here. Death Hag, Witch Elves, Death Hag, Witch Elves, Death Hag. Now, Witch Elves are interesting. They're very much glass cannons. They're very weak to the Nehekhara archers, but they're very strong relative to their price against the Nehekhara knights. And he's fielding both, so it'll be a little bit of a deployment game with Nehekhara. So a Necropolis Knight, 10 HP, but an okay amount of protection. Witch Elves will punch right through that. They can also punch right through the protection on this thing. And so they can very rapidly kill Necropolis Knights. Now, one of the Witch Elves is probably also going to die per attack. So it's very much a glass cannon trade. But they trade very effectively into Necropolis Knights. They trade not okay into light archers. Light archers are a lot cheaper, and they shoot at a range and they punch right through the protection on Witch Elves. So, then the other thing Witch Elves can be okay against is killing these Guardians of Petra. They just hit hard enough that they can punch through the protection and the shield pretty regularly, and they don't care about Sana because they're Berserk. But again, it's not as good of a trade because these guys cost less than the Necropolis Knights. And they're going to kill Witch Elves at about the same rate as Necropolis Knights. So about 1 per attack. I think Undying would have been a pretty good bless for the Witch Elves. I didn't want quite as much strength. All right. So I think that's most of it for this turn. We're going to attack the Ichthids. So we'll see that next turn, in turn 32. Right? Or no, we are in turn 32. In turn 33, the nap is counting down, and I'll see you in turn 33. All right, turn 33 here. We get a ring of water breathing from Bretonnia. I was thinking I could trigger the Twiceborn using that ring if I built an underwater lab. And I was also thinking to use it to site search underwater. And a couple more Shadow Imps. Find a couple of sites, a Garden of Bones and a Sky Split Oak. 1 death and 1 air. Very good for our nation. And we find a Chambers Underneath. or no, we fight in chambers underneath. So this is our Ichthids versus the independent Ichthids. Oops, my phone's going off. Alright. So we take care of the Ichthids. We lose 16. I think one of our squads tries to rout, but may or may not make it off. I forget. We lose some income. Cult of Pleasure is established. That's good. We get assassinated twice, I think. So let's go ahead and check these out. So this time we're losing Blackmarked Blues, the Merman Captain. Alright, I'm back. I'm trying to record when my commanders die, because I think it'd be fun to make like an Iron Maiden playlist. Kind of based on when they die. Alright. Then we also get assassinated by a spider. Okay. Everyone's confused. Okay, but we survived the spider? Okay. We patrol out a scout. And this is our first vanquish. So this was Chazzy, who got pushed by Itza and Bretonnia. So got caught up in a 2v1, and it went poorly for him. Let's see. Or no, that's our second defeat. First defeat was LulusSnugglebun's playing Skavenblight. I believe he got rushed over by the Wood Elves, based on what I've heard. So those are our first two players defeated in the 12-player game. So we're not going to be the first out, but we're definitely not doing good. Alright. So we're throwing Twiceborn on another mage. We're mobilizing forces to Old Giant Woods. Bringing our chaff out to come fight. Patrolling here for a little bit, just trying to get rid of some unrest. We've gathered up 130 troops so far, or we're going to have that next turn. Hiring more Witch Elves and another Death Hag, and more Witch Elves and a Death Hag. And getting a Pleasure Cultist here, and getting more Demonette troops. So we're up to 10. Oh, I forgot to look at them last episode. So they've got 2 Wicked Claws, which are armor piercing, so they're very killy. They have invulnerability, so their protection versus mundane is okay, but not great. And they've got a little bit of awe, so 2 layers of protection. They're still glass cannons. They're kind of like Witch Elves. Alright. And we're still blood sacrificing. We've started blood sacrificing here with our Prophet. Trying to get extra temple checks, trying to hold off this. We were talking with Bretonnia a bit, and Bretonnia really wants this throne. Probably planning some sort of throne rush. So he's going to go attack this throne, and he's going to beat our nap cooldown with Nehekhara. So he's going to go ahead and yoink this. Now, he did let me know. I'm not thrilled about it, but I can't really do anything about it. I mean, this could probably end my whole nation, so not gonna complain. But yeah, he's gonna take Saboria. Now, what that does mean is we don't have to hold, at least versus Nehekhara, we don't need garrisons. in Dragon Ridge or Spring Bay. So we can move these troops over to Old Giant Woods or Niffle to provide the front line. And we're sending anything out. We're sending 6 more glamour to selling or trading to Bretonnia. I think that's to get a Dreamstone, which I didn't really think ahead on because I'm mobilizing all my glamour mages, but it is what it is. I think I was thinking I'd recruit another one sooner than I will end up doing. Alright, so that's turn 33. Let's go ahead and hop into turn 34. Alright, got turn 34 here. Dire Portent, Mother Oak goes up. We get a Dreamstone from Bretonnia. We get a unique hero, so we'll take a look at them. And RFK Jr. feasting on Roadkill, God of Middenheim. This is Sombre. Now, Sombre got attacked by... He was fighting a war with the orcs, played by Stonetroll, the other orc faction. And it was a pretty even war, but then Tzeentch moved in and killed Sombre, and that 2v1. So that should... Yeah, so that would be... This is where Sombre was. You can see all the Tzeentch troops here. So we need to move pretty quick. We're starting... First wars have been wrapping up, so we're getting a lot of free agents. Especially around me. And it can be hard to fight a war with a neighbor when there's a lot of free agents around, because it's highly likely that they're going to muck with things. So we're bringing out the Ichthids. Additionally, getting another Death Hag, couple of Witch Elves. Witch Elves Death Hag, Witch Elves Death Hag. Another Pleasure Cultist. We're getting more Demonettes. So we've got a nice little squad now. They're pretty massable, which I like. As long as you have a fort to recruit them in with the cultists. Our Dominion is struggling, but it should recover when Bretonnia takes over this fort. So Bretonnia's launched their attack, and we've got our attack orders in. So the nap has ticked down. Moving into Nehekhara, we have a large force, 250 troops. So the thought was, if Nehekhara moved to counter Bretonnia and tried to take a fight on Saboria, maybe we can move in on Saboria, or we can move from Niffle into Civic Highlands and maybe take this palisade. So this is our army. We've got some Skelly spam going on at the moment in terms of scripting. We've only got the one mage. Otherwise, it's a lot of blessings and Holy Avenger. We've got the blessings scripted, primarily because of Divine Blessing. If this guy gets assassinated, we still want to make sure our stuff gets blessed. And our troops are going to be running out real quick. So we've got Executioners, Witch Elves, and Witch Elves. So kind of in an alternating block fashion. And a little bit of Arrow Chaff up in front. And a little bit of attack rear bait. Now attacking down into Khorne, because we should aim to raid here, we're sending our Scales troops. This represents a fair amount of upkeep, but not a tremendous amount of combat value. So they make a good raiding party. And then we're gonna go ahead and send some Blackheart Corsairs down here. They've got some chaff to HP sync them. And we'll try and raid into Akrajab because it's got 2 death gems. So being able to hold on to Akrajab would be really nice. Alright. So those are the attack orders, and looks like we will get a little bit of combat. So we'll go ahead and jump into turn 35 and see how everything resolves. My biggest regret about this turn was moving this guy here rather than here, because I could have seen Ballin storm this fort. That would have been good to see, but I have a mental lapse, so we're not actually going to see the combat here. Alright, so that's turn 34. We'll see you in turn 35. Alright, I've got turn 35 pulled up. We've got some more Demonette troops joining us, a couple of Shadow Imps. Another Dire Portent goes up. We'll have to do like a review. And we've got a few battles. So we've got our Kunaral raid against PD, and he's gone through and left a few chariots to kind of buff up the PD in every province, or maybe he respawns. I don't know. We gotta work our way through the chariots first. So this raid goes pretty well. We lose a little bit of stuff. We kill 3 chariots. I guess these guys are 35 gold each. Then we see the Green Knight go into Nehekhara. So just an immortal 5 chassis. What a great name. And he's sacred, but with no way to bless himself, so he's not going to get Ballin's bless, and he has no thug gear on him, so he's just kind of running in. So they're trying to kill him, and I am curious if we replay that place. But I don't think we will. Down to 12 HP. He is getting some regen. Alright, and they get a very large roll and kill him. So the capital is defended. And then we have our Corsair raid. Now this is a fair amount of PD. Corsairs can do okay until lance charge, and that's because of their very high defense. At 17 defense. They're killing enough they can kill the knights, and they have enough defense that they can dodge a fair number of attacks. We get an unlucky morale roll, though. Now, normally they have pretty high morale, so... But one of our squads sticks around, so this raid is successful. We lose 11 of 31. And I think 9 more in the retreat. So that sucks, but we do take the province, and the province is important because that death income will help heal our twice-born engine on our mages during this war. We do have a lab destroyed by fire, because of course we do. So we're going to rebuild the lab. Not how I wanted to spend my gold this turn. We're getting some witch elves, some more witch elves, and some witch elves. Witch elves are the cheaper pick at 22 gold versus executioners at 30 gold. They also have perfect morale once blessed, as opposed to executioners who have a very good morale, but can rout. Especially with Righteous Wrath, they'll get up to 20-something morale, which can be really good. But they are known to occasionally run away. We can see Nehekhara's army here. Now, I was thinking Nehekhara might give up on this throne, and he could do a couple of things. He could push through here, try to take a fight with me. He could try to defend this fort here with a move and patrol. Or he'll go back to his capital. I thought this was the least likely move. Khorne. And so I wanted to move here, though, because it would let me fork his 2 forts. So it would give me the option to go on both, and also because I'm starving horribly. I did not look at my supply usage versus supplies in Nifl. So I'm trying to find a fight where I'm not starving, or find a fight maybe next turn, not the upcoming turn, but the turn after. I want to fix my starvation issues. We are doing another Twiceborn, bringing in, continuing to move troops around using Corsair captains. They make great taxis when you have a coastal start. So now that we've gotten out of the early game, we did manage to find a way underwater, which was a weak part of our build. And we're getting to actually use the sailing a bit, and it can be really nice for movement speed. But yeah, so we're doing a big attack here, 250 troops. And then we're doing a raid here with our Scales troops in between these 2 forts. So the goal was to fork all of his forts. And then here we're sending a pack of Witch Elves. We've got a little bit of PD here, but we're trying to secure some retreat routes, just in case. I think that's most of it for turn 35. These Athel guys are still coming out. And yeah, I think that's it for this turn. So next episode will be the wider war with Nehekhara, and we'll see how that goes. And I'll see you in turn 36. Have a good one.